Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 521. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Steedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinstein.
Yo.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners, and happy Thanksgiving. We are here. We made it. We're almost through the year. We're almost through 2020. We can get there. We can do it. Hope everybody is going to have a nice, safe, and fun, at least fun or safe, whatever, semi-fun. I don't know what you can
Fun
do for
or
Thanksgiving
safe?
right now.
Just one or the other.
I guess it's one of the. You can still do like local stuff.
Hopefully you can find the intersection and the Venn diagram of both of those. There might not be a whole lot there, but something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to my parents' house for Thanksgiving. They're within the 5-mile radius of me here anyway, so I'm going there. But there will be nobody. It will be just immediate family going, so keeping it very small. But be baking like crazy tomorrow. Today is the podcast, though. We got Black Friday deals going on now. So if you're in the market for like a TV, there's some decent TV deals going on. The more I read about this stuff, the more I think like the advice I have for people wondering about TVs, if you're looking high-end TVs, Black Friday is the time to buy, or low-end TVs. If you're trying to find that like middle of the road for a cheaper price, those don't usually go on sale at this point in time. You have to wait till like year-end clearances for those. So just some advice for those wondering about prices of TVs. High-end TVs, absolutely. You're looking for an OLED, I think you go for it. The CX-9 I've heard a lot of good things about. Other than that, there's a slew of movies on sale. I don't know if I'm going to get anything this year. I have such a full library of movies. I might go digital, I guess. Get some more digital movies. But
sometimes they have good bundles and like starter collection things you can get digitally. So. Sure. I mean, I snagged Gamecast wise. Never mind, that's Gamecast. So I've been getting a bunch of stuff actually game wise, which is hilarious because I'm like, my devotion right now has been just Ghost on gaming, but lots of stuff I've been watching, and that's my segue into what we've been up to. It's been a fun week this week. I've had off, so I've been able to catch up on some shows. Obviously, I watched The Mandalorian, which I'm sure we'll discuss again, like we have been. Let's not go a 10-minute long discussion like we did last time. We will do a postmortem. We will do a bonus round of this show, but we will get into some spoilers at some point here. Just so we'll warn you before we get there. But saw The Mandalorian. That's about what I expected for this episode. I have to say, just going the normal numbers. That's all. So that's okay. Now, for other things I've watched though, I've watched The Good Place. I finished it. Pretty good last season. Okay. I thought it was okay. I really loved that first season so much, and I think I like the second season a lot still too, but mostly that first season was so good. And the second season was fun, but I feel like I'm happy that they ended it when they did, because it's like, how often can they do this idea? Keeping it as vague as possible. So I did like that. I also watched Blood of Zeus and finished that. Just finished that, actually. That's fresh. I just finished that like an hour ago, actually. And woof, that's a hell of a finale. I think that was written by guys from New Jersey, actually, because I saw them on NJ News NJ. Really?
Yeah, they're from local guys that wrote it. I thought it was a good start, but it was like, it was interesting in the middle. I was like, not so much. But that finale was so good. I really love that finale. Like, holy
that's
cow.
what I was saying. Like the series up until the last episode was like, middling. Went up, went down, went up and down. The last episode, I was like, damn. If we got another season and it was that level, just like shit going down and stuff, like I'd be like,
the animation got better too.
Yeah, I think it did. And like, honestly, Tony, that's it. I mean, if you get a season like that, I think I would not be able to binge it, because it's just like my jaw was just down. Just like ridiculous. How much action packed and like just story elements that happened in that last episode was crazy. It was like, slow burn, kaboom.
Yeah.
But it was good. Really good show. I what I liked is the fact that it's Greek mythology, and there's not much tapping into that aspect of things right now. So it's like, it's kind of a cool show to have. And then I also watched Bill and Ted Face the Music. So that was
again, so that is very much not anything like Blood of Zeus, but very much pacing style like Blood of Zeus. I was like ho hum for that most of that movie, and then just like the ending, I was like, oh, this is fun. Okay, does it save the movie? I don't know. I think it was a good movie. Okay movie, fun movie. If you like the Bill and Ted movies, I definitely check it out.
Did it make you face the music and realize certain things?
Yes. I think it was really like a great ending to the story. I thought it was really cool. And I think that the last part of it for me was like, I kind of got like, there's a goosebumps moment there for me. I was like, oh wow, that actually hits a moment for me, which I wasn't expecting in that movie. So that was good. And then I think that's it of note really for watching. I mean, I'm probably remember something else as we're discussing it, but I think that's pretty much it right now for me. So, Mike?
The only thing I watched completely was Mandalorian. Bits and pieces of other things, but nothing really of note or new.
Okay. Corey?
Well, I got to watch New Mutants. I rented that.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm just got some time to kill. Gonna check this movie out, because why not? I've been very curious.
This is not a good intro. This is not a good intro.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess it's definitely better than Dark Phoenix.
That's not saying anything, though.
You're still not a good.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, compared to the worst movie I've ever seen, it's not that.
It's better than the worst movie I've ever seen.
But could you see that? Could you see that tagline on the ad?
Like, you guys have been talking about like this ho hum, like this like pacing, and what I've really been up to mostly this week is the fourth Stormlight book has come out. It's interesting how the pacing.
Oh, so hold on. So it's just okay. That's all you want to say about New Mutants.
No, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Oh, okay, all right.
Talk about pacing.
I was like, wait, that's it?
Meshing.
So like, it's just the pacing on these things have all kind of like been similar for me, and it's like with New Mutants, it's just you have this pacing, and then you're like you think something's gonna happen, but then it really just goes like like Blood of Zeus is like ho hum up and down a little bit, like, but then it goes poof, it shoots up or whatever, and it's just like okay, something's gonna happen. It's like something's gonna happen. Something happened. Like just happened already, and then nothing really happens except for what you see in the trailer. So it's really like nobody learns anything. There's no lessons, even though they're there to be rehabilitated, and it sets things up to like try to be like, ooh, part of the X-Men universe, but then you're like, well, that universe is dead, so
it was
does that matter?
That old universe.
And yeah, just it's weird and it's unfortunate because there could have been a good movie, but they didn't really take advantage of what they had, and it's unfortunate because they got good actors, and I do like I think Anya's good and Maisie's good, and the main girl, the Indian girl in this is supposed to be good. So Indian Native American, sorry, I don't know. but she's good in it, and like they're fine, and then the woman who's there is fine, the doctor lady, but it's just so empty. It's just like such a empty movie of like void of anything. And you don't feel for these characters at all. So but yeah, just weird pacing wise. And then, like I said, the main thing I was doing though is Stormlight book 4, and I really want to go back through it again because I'm almost done. I'm only like a couple chapters away from finishing it. But the problem is like I've been very distracted by things going on and stuff. So it's like I feel like I missed a lot. But I don't want to spoil anything with this book. But there's been a lot of like moments in it that have been like jaw-dropping for me, but at the same time it's been a lot of like what are we doing here? So it's interesting the pacing of these different things that we've been talking about. So I'm curious to see where they go next though. It's my favorite series, so I'm really excited to see what happens. But cool. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Tony?
Let's see. I've been talking about it in Discord, but I decided to start going through the X-Men animated
That's right.
series from the
Yeah.
90s. And it's a little rough. It's not aged as well as I would have preferred, but what can anybody really do about that? But what's surprising to me is like just how badly they get their asses kicked in like every episode. Like it's obnoxious almost because like they're supposed to be like badasses and shit, and it's just like one dude shows up or like one villain shows up and like the whole team gets jobbered. Like it's like, all right, like I guess you need obviously confrontation and stakes and stuff like that, but it's like Magneto's like, ugh, you got Xavier didn't even come with you, whatever, like, and just like pushes them away or something. Just like, okay, like I guess.
I remember when I think back to like all the villains in that show, I remember them all being completely unbeatable. Like Magneto, Apocalypse, Mr. Sinister, like all Juggernaut, like they couldn't handle any of them whatsoever. Like that's what I remember.
I just watched the first episode where the Juggernaut was in, and he did like kind of slap them around a little bit, but then they pretty quickly formulated a plan and took him out. And then Apocalypse didn't even do anything with this first encounter. Like his horseman just got beat up, and he's like, "No, you are not worthy," and just like goes into his spaceship, which is buried underneath Stonehenge. So apparently he hasn't used it in tens of thousands of years, and just fucking flies off and fucks off. I'm just like, like that's weird, but okay, stuff like that. But it's still, whatever. It's still enjoyable.
Apocalypse didn't do much, if I remember throughout that show. It was a lot of words from him, and
He
in
talks
disguise
so
moments.
much.
Yeah,
He talks so much.
Yeah.
But I love it because
Quite
it's like
pretentious,
it's like that. It's the best pretentious, like condescending. I'm above everything right now, and it's just like he can't just see like I'm gonna beat you. It's just like be like the waves,
almost,
crash
like,
upon me like the rocks, and be broken or something like that. And you're just like,
right.
you know what? That's poetic. I
Paint a
enjoy
picture,
that. I
you know?
appreciate that. Yeah, it's like that is chef's kiss, stuff like that. So been watching that. I'm like 8 or 9 episodes in and stuff like that. And it's interesting because like I guess because watching it as a kid, Saturday mornings and shit, it wasn't consistent. At least I don't remember it being consistent. So I'd be like catch an episode from a season here, season there, whatever. But I'm just like, damn, they went through a lot of stuff in the first season really quick. Like they introduced Cable in like the 3rd or 4th episode. I'm on the Bishop Days of Future Past episode. I was like, that was season 1. Like I felt like season 2 or season 3 to me. But whatever. I'm a kid, so.
Yeah, I remember being totally lost as a kid once stuff like that started happening. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on at all.
Yeah.
But I did watch another animated series episodes. Those do hold up, obviously, but
Yeah.
I did notice a couple animation errors so far. There's a few times where Batman talks without moving his lips.
Yeah.
And there is an occasional weird animation in that show too that just looks funny. But yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm still enjoying it. It's just whatever.
Yep. Mandalorian latest episode, guys. Shorter episode again, which this was a filler episode. Again, there's going to be some spoilers.
I mean, whoa. This is a filler episode?
For the end point for me, yes. But
no, for
it is.
You,
I liked it.
But
I liked the episode.
I feel like this episode has more to do with the actual plot of The Mandalorian than the previous episode.
Well, I mean, I guess. I mean, if you like going back in a circle, sure. But I mean,
this episode had more to do with the overarching plot for the child, whereas the previous episode had more to do with the current status of Mandalore and other Mandalorians.
Yeah, I think that's for me. Like, I guess it's depending on what you're looking at the point of the show is. Yeah, I guess that's really. I looked at it like, I don't know. This is again spoilers coming in here, so I looked at it like I loved the clone explanation. I feel like we've gotten. Oh my god, I watched something else. But I love the explanation we got about what like Snoke basically was, and I think that kind of was a good explanation there. I think.
Wait, they mentioned Snoke?
Not really Snoke, but not.
I don't know if this really has anything to do with him. You can make it have something to do with him if you want, but
I think it does. I mean, you're draining blood from the child to make some sort of being, and there was a lot of things in that tube back there.
I really thought this was like a Palpatine thing. That's what I thought they were trying to
I
do.
mean, I
here.
think that's what Snoke. But I think that's what Snoke was. I think he was an early Palpatine clone. That's what I'm thinking he was. But that's my theory.
Who
And this is
cares?
gonna
He's
hopefully.
fucking
I would love
dead.
for the. But what if this fills it in? Like this would be
Why?
fine.
What does it matter though, dude? Like, would
Does
that
it-
really
I
be
still
like,
think
wow, this brings together the new trilogy for me just together?
No, I guess you're right. So.
I mean, I don't know. Like, as far I don't think I didn't feel like filler to me. I do want to shout out to the Bryce Dallas House for last week's episode. That was a much better directed episode than the last time she was directing with that Samurai 7 style episode she did in the first season.
Oh yeah. I didn't realize she did that one. That's right.
Seven Samurai, whatever. Yeah.
Carl Weathers
But,
did this one. And,
I was gonna
Apollo
say
Creed
Carl
did-
Weathers did this one, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, it's taking out troopers like left and right
You
here.
must hate stormtroopers. Like,
Yeah.
they just got fucked so bad this episode. I'm
It was
like,
a-
all right.
It's just
Fun.
weird, like seeing them run around all the time. Like, what are you guys doing here? Like, what's going on here? What's this? Like, why are you still around? Like, I don't know. It seems weird that they're still like these pockets of the Empire, and people just like ignoring them. Like, they were oppressing people for like how many years?
Decade.
And that's
Decade.
and it's, oh yeah, we'll
Well,
just
I mean,
let them hatch their evil plans. You know, like we'll
It's
just
pretty like I think the point of the point of the Empire right now is they're still pretty intimidating for people because of that, and so it's like they just want to leave them alone. So they don't want to deal with them. You don't want to mess with them right now because they're still on that. You know, they're still the powerful Empire, and I think the guy mentioned that sort of like with the big transport. He's like, you know what, we can get on the black market for that because I guess like they still have some pretty powerful shit, you know, and. Yeah, I think I feel like that's what that was really, and
I mean, yeah, you're
Well,
supposed.
well,
It's like when you like overthrow a dictator. Like there's still like everyone else that wasn't physically there when it happened. Like you gotta.
Yeah.
They're still out there. They're loyalists or whatever, and on a galactic scale, kind of. I mean, it's not that crazy that they're still operating in a bunch of places, but. I thought this was more of a sequential, seriated episode because again, we get more.
I guess you're right when you put it. I get when you guys are putting it more in the perspective. I guess it really is less filler than I originally was thinking. But go on.
We get back more about Moff Gideon, and he's back first of all the first time this season. We get his goal, and I just view it as it does seem a little bit like they're confirming midichlorians more than Snoke to me. The blood of a force-sensitive creature.
I didn't think Snoke at all, but like,
I thought
they said M count. They did say M count in this, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the blood of a force-sensitive creature could be used to create. I just look at it as a super soldier creation thing. I don't know if it's any specific character to me, but I see it as a super soldier like force creation thing, which. It seems kind of logical. Like that makes sense for the Empire, I would think.
Inquisitors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. So I thought that was interesting. And now we gotta.
Do you think we get Inquisitors on the show? By the way, I meant to ask that, and I keep forgetting every time we have the show. I think we get Inquisitors.
I don't know. We're gonna need to. We're gonna get. Are we gonna get super lightsabers?
Are they around?
I think we do. Like, I mean, we don't know what happened to the
I mean,
Inquisitors.
if Ahsoka's
Like, that
around,
never
who
filled
knows?
in.
Like, anybody could be around if you want.
I'm curious if we get to the point where this becomes like a lightsabery show. Like, are we gonna get there? I don't know if that. I don't
One
think
episode.
it seems like something that
This
they
week's
wouldn't
episode
want
is
to
called
go
The
into too
Jedi.
much. Oh boy.
Yay! Now I'm excited. I did not know that.
Ahsoka's not a Jedi,
find us-
so it's
find
not
us
about
out.
her.
But maybe she started her own order.
She's not.
We don't know what she's doing. We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know. Yeah.
She's like this to
Yeah,
Jedi.
but-
so.
Isn't she? But isn't
She's
she
there.
more of a Jedi than the Jedi? Isn't that the point?
Yeah.
Isn't she more of a Jedi
Yeah,
than the Jedi? So,
and you could just give yourself whatever name you want in this universe, and it counts. So
yeah. So I don't know. That's awesome. I can't wait for Friday. Good. It's gonna be a Black Friday of amusement. So, all right. Anything else to really quickly discuss at all? I'd like to move past. I watched Lego Star Wars Special, by the way, and that as during this conversation, I remembered that, and that was a fun. I would not commit to good, but when Tony was trying to press me for that, but it was a very fun movie. It's like it's a younger kids movie, but I had to watch it as a Star Wars fan, and the holiday special. I have to watch it and see what it's about. There was no singing. I don't think there may have been. There was singing. Never mind. There was singing in this.
You blocked it out for a little bit, but you couldn't block it out completely.
No, because they made fun of themselves. There was, I mean, just to give I don't want to spoil everything for people, but I would like to mention one funny line that I really enjoyed was there's a lot of time travel involved in this, and at some point Kylo Ren goes and sees the Emperor and Darth Vader, and he's like, dude, he's gonna totally throw you over the railing and down to a pit where you will die. Permanently and never come back ever. You will die permanently. That's all I kept saying. And I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing here. Just kind of writing off episode 9 as much as possible. But yeah, so I thought that was really pretty funny. But there's some funny moments, and it's Lego, so it's kidsy kind of thing. But it's yellow lightsaber and all for Rey. The most you use the yellow lightsaber was in Lego Star Wars Special. So check it out. It's on Disney Plus. All right, let's get into some news. Then we'll move on. Let's see what we got here. We've got the Last of Us TV series has been picked up by HBO. They liked the pilot that they saw, and we're going to get a full order here.
Okay.
Surprised?
No.
I don't think
really.
so. I think that content lends well. As long as you're not following the main characters at all or doing anything like that, just make your own story with this universe. I think it lends well to that, right?
Maybe it'll be
it's
an
a zombie
alternative
show.
to 2.
So you can.
Yeah.
I could not care less about this.
It's their Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's done with The Walking Dead for like 5 years, so I couldn't care less.
The Expanse got renewed for season 6, but is also ending on season 6. Now this, by the way, is like drive for me to start, and I have to watch the show now. Now that I know there's an ending written, it makes me like a show more, which sucks. But it's a bad, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a catch-22 kind of thing. Like, I want to make sure that they have an ending written. I don't want to get, so I
mean, this is a book series. You know that, Jim, right?
I did not know that, actually. I did not know that.
Oh, okay.
So,
there's like 12, 11. I've gone through them all. I forget how many there are.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of books.
Yeah. And are they better than the show?
They are better, but the show does a really good job of representing the books. Okay. But what I do like, because they are combining a lot of stuff from like different books and kind of rearranging time stuff a little to make it make sense a little more. And I think there's a good spot in the series of the books that you can end the show. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay. We'll see what they're going to do. All right. Let's see. The director for Doctor Strange tweeted out this today that all Spider-Man iterations are in the MC universe. Was it today or yesterday? I think it was today. No, it was yesterday. 4:53. Official recognition of multiple Spider-Mans happening, and that's canon now.
So the blonde Spider-Man in Miles Morales' movie died. He's in the MCU.
Well, it's kind of the same thing as like the DC multiverse thing where they just like how they threw it all on CW there. Oh. So same idea here. Spider-Verse, multiverse.
We're going to get that in the Multiverse of Madness from Doctor Strange, I'm sure. And I think we're going to get, like, Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield.
I think we're going to get some sort of Spider-Verse reference. I think we will. Somehow. I don't know how that's going to go into this, but it will be there. So let's see what else we have.
How soon do we get Miles Morales and Spider-Gwen in the
Silver Screen?
I think we get Miles Morales in this and Spider-Gwen in this, whatever this is going to be. I think we get all of that. And they're just going to throw it all in and then maybe do a movie later. That's how it's going to work.
Well, I mean, they're doing an animated movie in 2 years, right? That's supposed to come out in a couple of years.
Yeah. So
yeah, I just assume Sony wants to fast track it because
sure.
Obviously the Spider-Verse movie did so well, like an animated movie, so they're like, well, we do like more money, so let's get this shit on the silver screen.
Well, it's not like we hate money here, so.
Is there a silver screen?
What?
Is there a silver screen?
Okay, digitally.
It's an OLED screen now.
I don't know what it's gonna look like, but yeah.
It's the blue screen. So. WandaVision, some more details, which it just sounds so weird. It's going to adapt like 1950s sitcom style shows, and there's episodes like Modern Family and The Office.
Yeah, it's I fully expect a sort of Legion-like or Doom Patrol-like mindfuck of a show where, we have like pocket universes, and the characters sort of play different roles every episode almost, and at some point it's gonna be like an answer, and that should be interesting.
And this is all just in her
guess.
head because she can't deal with the death of Vision. Is that what's going on?
That's a theory. I don't know if it'll be quite that, but I feel like there's a lot of weird stuff gonna go on here, and so it's gonna be a mind fuck.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, I think it's gonna be neat because you do get to have the ability to do whatever you want because it happens. So there you go, Jim. You get your mutant.
Which they
Mutants.
really did
Mutants.
not. It is something they did not touch on at all, really, in the MCU up until now.
They didn't really explore that with her, so they need to really get into that. So, Black Panther 2 set to start filming in July. I guess we don't know what's going on. Are they going to recast? Are they going to ignore?
Sounds like Suri's going to get a much bigger role. That's what it seems like.
Yeah. So I don't know if they even touch on his. Yeah, I don't know that they even touch on his story at all. I think they might just because I don't think you. I think you have to. I understand that's so fresh, but at some point you're going to have to recast if you want to use that character. Obviously, it's a major character for them because he did so well.
Do you recast or do you pass it down to someone else?
I think they would more likely have the character be a separate person taking on the role, but still in universe have T'Challa be gone.
Yeah, my assumption is that they're just going to hand the mantle of Black Panther to Shuri. So
Shuri.
And then just
and that could be.
They could have another male Black Panther in the future, but I don't think it's going to be T'Challa. I just have a feeling they want to reserve that role for him and stuff like that because he was really pivotal in getting that character represented and stuff like that. It's not like I don't know.
It's one of those things also where he's synonymous with it, and it's not something that couldn't be done in a more respectful way than just saying, "Oh, you're Black Panther T'Challa now," and
right.
You can.
Plus, who would
away.
accept that? Who would accept that? Like that would be. I don't know. I'm
It's
sure you could find somebody for money, but I mean, it'd be like.
No, I'm saying like eventually you could. So, all right. And then we have.
Terrence Howard. Get Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Back in the MCU, baby.
He's not coming back.
Deadpool 3 is actually getting a new writer. Can you guys talk about that for a second? I gotta be right back. I'll be right back. So.
Deadpool 3. Oh. Well, I didn't get to see everything. I just know that they mentioned something like it's going to take place during Endgame or something like that. Is that what they said?
I didn't read any of that. All I know is that they have the twins that write for Bob's Burgers or something.
Yeah.
Said
they're sisters.
They're going to are they sisters or twins? I didn't read it right.
Sisters.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
They're related.
And so that's interesting, I guess. It's comedy, mostly Deadpool.
I'm sure Reynolds is going to have a bunch of influence on what is actually going to be in there and stuff. So
I still haven't seen the second one, but the whole thing. I don't know if we talked about this at all. Just that they mentioned that this is going to be an R-rated movie most likely, and it's happening under the Disney Marvel banner now. So that's a thing. And
you should see the Deadpool too, Mike, because Deadpool is in love with Wolverine as much as you are, I think.
Well, no, I would have saw it, but I just didn't care that much.
It'll be on Disney Plus soon.
I know it's just hard. It's hard for me to commit to watching a movie at home, but
Deadpool 3. I'm excited. We're like you're saying, R-rated, I'm sure, and see how he goes and f's up the MCU in his mind.
I think it's amazing that we're finally getting that record. Disney needs that aspect of things, like the adult-only section thing. They're going to do their R-rated stuff.
They need something on there.
So they are. We saw that leak from Tony. You posted that leak that they're talking about on our Discord. So I think that's, this could be one of those. It's crazy to think about. This could be one of those headline movies and not released in theaters, or Like they're all Disney, I think, is learning from this to really focus on this Disney Plus service because they're making tons of money on it and it's growing like crazy. So,
Well, what's interesting though is it seems as if they had less content on there by now than they would have had otherwise. You know what I mean? Like like we're in the second season of Mandalorian, and I found that article that said Mandalorian literally does 5 times more viewership than everything else on Disney Plus, and it's because it's really the only new consistent content on there. And
we did lose a year on content because COVID. I mean, there's a lot of Marvel shows that were supposed to be out this year that didn't.
Well, I know, but they were shows that like I understand the movies, but like most of these that people there was been delays. I understand, but.
I mean the Marvel shows. I'm not saying movies, and I'm not really. For me, I'm like these subscription services. I want to see shows more than movies. I don't know.
I know that, but I just mean, I don't know. They just need something else on there because by now you would think there'd be something else.
Yeah, and I agree. They need content, but they need
premium.
That's the other thing that the leak mentioned was that. They may introduce pricing tier structures that will include premium movies. I would assume, stuff that's like, hey, it's coming out in theater and simultaneously on Disney Plus Platinum or something like that. I like the sound of that. That's probably what it's going to go with. So
yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I mean, that Mulan was definitely essentially.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like, will people pay this much for it?
Yep.
So I mean, you have a. Yeah, I think that would be something.
Because I mean, the thing is too is like, let's say you only get like household, like you're appealing to that family demographic, you can charge them $30 a month instead of the 20, right? Because that's what it costs. Or how much is Disney Plus? I signed up for the 2-year deal, so I have no idea what.
I don't even know. I think I prepaid for 3 years on that for like some crazy offer I got.
I know they have a really good deal, and you combine everything together.
Gotcha.
And I think that's probably in the 30 range, maybe. So it's like probably $15 or something.
I think it's $8 a month normally.
Yeah.
Right? $7.99.
Really?
Does that sound about right?
It is less than HBO, right? It is less than HBO.
Yeah. And then if you do like the premium Hulu and everything, I think it's $14 or something like that with the ESPN. I think it's
way less than what I had said.
Yeah, no. But I mean, I think I paid like $130 for 3 years is what I think I just did. I did like $126 because I got that massive deal from that D23 thing they did.
Mm-hmm.
So
we actually
and that would put it at.
We actually went a few days without Disney Plus because we forgot to renew after the 1 year. And we wanted to see Mandalorian again. We're like, oh, we gotta put it back in.
Yep. So, all right. I think that's it for the Moviecast. Yeah, that's it.
Did we mention Wonder Woman going to HBO? Was that last week?
I thought we mentioned it last week. I'm pretty sure. That was last week's news. If not, hey guys, it's coming to. It's going digital and in the theaters, so I think we did mention that.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Right. And then also Miss Marvel's filming. There's leaks of the photos.
Oh yeah, wow! And then HBO Max also is becoming the place for DC movies because Titans is on there now. So all the content's moving, Mike.
We already knew this, that service.
I mean,
is dead.
I'm gonna subscribe soon now that it's actually on Amazon, like Fire Stick, Fire TV. I'm like. It makes it more accessible for me to watch. So I'll give it a try and I'll let you guys know what I think. I can see myself subscribing next month for it just to see because there's the Fresh Prince reunion on there. There's the DC stuff I haven't really watched. I meant to, like the Titan stuff. And I'm sure there's some other stuff. I'll check it out. But so that's going to wrap up 521 of the Moviecast. Thanks for tuning in. You can write us AYCG
no deals,
at gmail.com.
no Black Friday deals.
There's a slew of them. We mentioned in the beginning, really. So we're going to go over some game stuff, though.
Go get a TV if you want one.
Well, there's TV, sound bars, but there's movie-wise, I mean, there's stuff for
Yeah, I agree. It's that exciting this year for me either.
Yeah, so. All right, that's going to wrap it up. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, subscribe, and hit that bell if you're watching this on YouTube. Thank you.